Kneel and pay homage to the gods. You shall be rewarded. Melitele watches over us all, yet you do well to remind her through supplication. There is ever time for prayer, even as war rages all around. Pleased to see ye yearn for the holy word, milady. I'll keep ye in my prayers to the Mother Goddess.
Travelling the high road, they heard the bells of a temple to Mother Melitele, situated at some distance. Meve turned towards Reynard.
What have we today? A sacred feast?
Not that I recall, Your Grace.
The Queen's brow darkened, her hands clenched into fists on her reins.
Then they sound the alarm. Follow me!
Stained glass shards glinted in the grass. Bits of down, ripped from quilts, wafted through the air. The priestesses, gathered in the yard, were seeing to wounded pilgrims, setting toppled, oft beheaded or armless statues back on their feet.
What happened here?
The strays of Spala fell upon us.
Sighed the prioress.
Stole the offerings, the monstrances, holy books. My lady, I implore you, come to our aid, recover what's rightly ours.
Ever clever, Meve's scouts soon discovered the bandits' tracks. They led to some thick hazel groves east of the temple. The perfect place to hide, or to lie in ambush.
It's all come clear now. Sabotage. 'Twas the bandits who weakened the walls.
Something digs up their graves, opens their tombs.
Your Majesty, turn back! There, something wicked lurks. Your Majesty, turn back! There, something wicked lurks.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
One vote I need.
A lesson in humility coming now.
Give me a target. Our ballista, your command. Armor won't save.
Your Majesty, you return. Our prayers have been answered. May the Mother Goddess watch over you. Your Majesty, you return. Our prayers have been answered.
The bandits had pitched camp in a nearby wood. Spirits buoyed by the wine they'd stolen from the cloister cellar, the brigands had not posted sentries.
Another round! To the sisters!
Neve's soldiers were eager, insistent, that desecrators would be punished. Yet only the Queen could order the assault.
High time we put these strays on a leash.
Spat the Queen, spurring her horse.
To arms! Follow me!
Tankards clattered to the ground as the strays reached for their weapons. The brigands would not even fathom giving up without a fight.
Surround them!
Favourite cut of lamb? The shank.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Looking to dance, mate?
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
See if he's hid any coin in his pockets. Or his old... Regroup!
Can't take it anymore.
Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth?
One bolt's all I need.
You might have got away had you not been hauling so damn much.
Give me a target.
The mist gonna pass me those lovely earrings? Or do I tear them off myself?
Discipline shall bring us victory!
Go, hop, hop. Arbalist at your command. We got a job to do. There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
I've hit the white of an eye from half a league away. Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
The Queen's company defeated the bandits and recovered the loot. Silver chalices, reliquaries lined with mother-of-pearl, gold-embroidered robes.
The priestesses would be grateful to have their treasures returned, Your Grace. They would pray ardently for your victory.
Reynard opined.
Yet, you could also keep the silver, expend it on the war effort. And who's to say which, prayer or coin, would be more useful?
Hard times the realm now endures.
The Queen said, after a pause.
Yet this can't justify a lapse in principles. No. We must defend them all the more.
Meve ordered everything returned to the priestesses. All of it, down to the last gulden. Moved by the Queen's gesture, some of the novitiates joined Meve's ranks, aiming to bring succor to any Lyrian wounded in battle. Queen and company rode off, with no gold to show for their toil, but most certainly richer in spirit.
Sure you can bind a rabid dog, tie his four legs together, but you'll not stop him from lashing out and biting. Aroo!
You've bested us, aye. But you'll not find the Duke of Dogs near as easy prey. Oh, no! Sure you can bind a rabid dog, tie his four legs together.
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf, I am.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die. I'm a one say.
Pay's late. Again.
Left, right, left, right.
One boat's all I need.
Ours is not to reason why.
What do you want of me?
Should have listened to me old lady.
Again and again and again.
Give me a target.
Keep calm, Tiberius.
Arbalista, your command.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads. My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me. One boat's all I need. Give me a target.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Off to Wetterton, are ye? Bonny tune that. Just the folk be on shite. Off to Wetterton, are ye? Bonny tune that. Just the folk be on shite.
As they neared Wetterton, the Queen ordered her company to halt. She then sent men to the town for supplies. Those sent returned more quickly than she'd assumed they would, their satchels empty, their mounts foaming at the mouth.
Your Majesty, the townsfolk have gone right mad. Herded all the elves and dwarves at Market Square. 'Tis a slaughter.
The Queen knew well that if she failed to intervene, the town's streets would flow with non-human blood. Just as she knew her meager force might not subdue an enraged crowd.
What is your command, your grace?
Reynard's question pierced the silence.
What can it be, dear friend?
Answered the Queen, then spurred her mount and rode off towards the town. Her troops followed, running as fast as their legs would carry them. When they passed inside the town gate, they saw corpses lining the gutters. Meve realized she had arrived too late to prevent a tragedy. The crowd was drunk on blood. Its rage would need to be quelled with an iron fist.
Step away, or see your heads bounce down the cobblestones! Reynard, who started this? I must know. So much hatred. We must put a stop to it.
Can't take it anymore.
Her Majesty is...
We must strike the largest clusters! Disperse the mob! Happily, Niamh restored order without suffering any losses. Reynard then learned that a nobleman's ire had triggered the violence, ire at having discovered a theft.
Suspicion fell on the non-humans he employed. He accused them, they protested, and the row soon engulfed the town. But there's something else, Your Grace.
Reynard gestured towards an aged man who stood grieving, his face in his hands.
I've witnesses who claim the strays of Sparla are the thieves.
Though the tragedy seemed the result of a misunderstanding, justice would have to be served. Those responsible for the slaughter would need to be punished. The question was, how severely?
Your excuses I cannot accept,
said the Queen.
The vipers who called for the slaughter, they will hang. The rest...
Majesty!
A townswoman fell to Niamh's feet.
Mercy, please! 'Twere words taken wrong, a misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding? To don another's cape, pay out insufficient change, these are misunderstandings. What happened here was criminal, and you'll be punished as criminals.
The condemned were hanged at once, without regard to the protests of kith and kin. Those non-humans who had managed to hide and survive made a most generous donation in gold to bolster the Queen's force. I'd like to say Wetterton's small melting pot of races lived on in harmony. Yet alas, I'm not in the habit of propagating untruths.
You hanged good folk today, ma'am. And for what? Because they came to the end of their tether? You hanged good folk today, ma'am. And for what? Because they came to the end of their tether?
The Lyrians entered the graveyard. Crickets chirped in its tall, windswept grass, and lush green moss covered its crumbling gravestones. Only a fresh bloodstain upon a mausoleum wall suggested that something disturbed the dead in their rest and hunted the living.
Save your tears, throw earth your grief.
An eerie voice sang, its ghastly lament standing Niamh's hair on end.
Soon your life too shall cease as you pass into the eternal glow.
A pockmarked, pustule-ridden creature crawled out from behind some gravestones. It vaguely resembled a shriveled, hunchbacked hag, until its head split into two halves, forming a tooth-spiked maw.
Attack! Everyone!
I'm a warsaw.
Time I taught you some respect.
One bolt I need.
What was that filth?
The queen croaked hoarsely as the dying monster writhed in agony at her feet.
I know not, your grace,
replied Reynard.
But to be safe, I would have the corpse chopped up and burned. Elsewise, we will not be certain it shall not return.
Yes, have it done.
Meve said, brushing her hair from her beaded brow.
But quickly, lest dusk catch us in this foul place.
The Lyrians soon resumed their march. As they left the cemetery behind them, some believed they still heard the haunting dirge upon the air. Or was it just the wind, whistling past mossy tombstones?
Well, well. Seems humans are near the same after all. Well, nothing left in Wetterton for me now. Close me shop and share the road with you.
Beware. Some bandits on thy road round Dawn. Those that call themselves the Strays. Those bandits? Dressed as demons they was. Horns on their heads and pig snouts instead of noses. Those bandits? Dressed as demons they was. Horns on their heads and pig snouts instead of noses.